Hi, everyone. Good evening and welcome to Issues and Inspiration. This is Marivir from New York City, and we'd like to welcome you to our third episode this evening. I hope you are having a good time and are safe after the snowstorm. I'd like to say hi to my very beautiful and good friend, Grace. Hello, Grace. Kamusta?
Hi, Marivir. Good evening, and good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Yes, and good
Where
evening
are
as
you?
well. I'm somewhere,
You're
you know,
somewhere.
out of
Somewhere
state.
awesome.
Yes, so good evening as well to everyone tuning in on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, we are live tonight
Mhm.
on Facebook and YouTube. So I hope you will stay tuned. We will have wonderful guests this evening. We will have
Mhm.
two FilAm teachers, Grace, that will tell us about their strategies on making the students interested this time of pandemic. Kasi
Yes,
mostly
that's right.
online schooling sila. And
Mhm.
then later on, we will have a wonderful guest, a colleague of ours of the press club. And she is going to talk about Miss Universe, the beauty, the beautiful world of Miss Universe, and the
Yeah,
challenges too.
a lot of our friends are looking forward to our topic for tonight, actually.
Right.
But before that, can you believe it's already Christmas?
I know. That's why we have our hat.
That's why we have our hats.
Yes. It's keeping
Next week is
warm.
Christmas already, and I heard from my husband. He said that we will have a white Christmas, so it's going to be snowing.
It's going to be a cold winter, a really
Yes,
cold season, right? So
exactly.
I wish
Yes.
everybody safety and
Mm-hmm.
continue practicing, the protocol for health because we are still in the midst of this pandemic. So everybody must be responsible, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like you said, tonight we will have great guests. For our first segment, we will have two film educators who will
Right,
tell us about their teaching strategies and how they are coping with the pandemic.
correct. So are you
Okay.
gonna introduce? I see Ron. Hi, Ron.
Maaga o eksena. Okay, all right.
You wanna introduce already our guests?
Yes, let me introduce our first educator, our first film educator, Mr. Ramil or Teacher Ramil Buenaventura. Okay,
There.
Teacher Ramil was born and raised in Mandaluyong City, Philippines. He attended elementary and high school in Don Bosco, Mandaluyong, and graduated with a degree of BS Education in Jose Rizal University and took up his master's education major in Educational Technology in UP Diliman. Teacher Ramil was a math teacher in LaSalle Green Hills for 13 years and 16 years in New York City Department of Education as middle school coordinator, math coach, and math teacher in the Renaissance Charter School in New York City. Ramil was a teacher awardee from various prestigious institutions in the USA, including New York City Department of Education Big Apple Awards, New York Daily News Hometown Hero, and TOFA. He is currently the PRO of the Association of Film Teacher of America, or AFTA. He is also an education YouTuber with channel name Rampage Math. So friends, let's welcome teacher Ramil Buenaventura.
Hello.
Hi, teacher Ramil. Good evening.
Welcome. Welcome to the show. And
Okay.
we have another
Marivir.
guest. Yes.
Yes, the picture. Okay.
Our
Okay.
next guest.
Our next guest is teacher Ronie Lumawag Mataquel. He is a high school math teacher at John Bowne High School in Flushing, New York. Teacher Ronnie is a 2017 UFT Excellence in Education and 2018 Blackboard Award honoree. He is also an adjunct lecturer at Brooklyn College and Queensboro Community College. Prior to his stint in New York City, Ronnie was the youngest master teacher in Makati, Philippines, and a recipient of the Mathematics Teachers Association of the Philippines Scholarship Grant, or MTAP. He is the past president of the United Federation of FilAm Educators and now serves as the co-founder and advisor. Unified is the youngest and the largest Filipino-American educators organization in the United States and Philippines. Let's welcome Teacher Ronie Lumawag Mataquel.
Hello,
Hi.
Ronie.
Hi, good
Yes,
Good
evening.
evening. Good
Lord.
evening,
Magandang
teacher.
gabi po sa lahat.
Magandang gabi. Maraming salamat for joining us tonight. It's an
Thank
honor to have
you.
you both here.
Yes, two of
Yeah.
our best film
Yes,
educators in the
mga kilabot ito
community.
sila, Grace, kasi they teach
And
math.
yeah,
And,
and math
I'm
teachers pa ha.
math
So, oh
pa.
my
So,
goodness.
I'm
So,
scared of math kasi
me
I'm poor
too.
in math.
Sorry, but one of my hated subjects back in the day.
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
but really, I'd like to ask you, both of you, Ramil and Ronnie, tell us about your teaching strategies. Paano nyo nagiging na-hold yung attention ng mga bata to listen to you for maybe 45 minutes or an hour, and they won't get distracted through your strategies. How do you do that? Who will go first? Si Ramil. Ramil?
So, Marabil, you are mute.
Can
You
you
are on
unmute
mute.
yourself, please? All right.
Alright, so
Yan.
yan, narinig na ako. Una-una, thank you very much, Maribir and Grace. Congratulations for your program. Talagang it's an inspiration. Nanood ako dati, nangungulit pa nga ako. Ngayon, in-invite you tuloy ako.
Oo. Oo nga.
And hello, Ronnie. Ronnie, ang
Hi,
ating
Ronnie.
teacher yan. Kasabayan ko yan nung na-hire kami from the Philippines back in 2003. And Ronnie knows that nung bago kami dito, it was really hell. Talagang sinubok kami, talagang mahirap. Kung ano man, even though you're teaching for decades back in the Philippines, pagdating mo dito, you're back to zero, even back to negative. And right now, siguro after 17 years na kami dito, nag-i-improve naman, nag-i-improve na, kayang-kaya na namin, nasusustain na namin yung klase, nakakapagturo na kami. And, you were asking ano yung mga strategies. I guess for me, number one is to build relationships with the students. Dahil iba-iba ang culture dito, you need to know them, you need to know their backgrounds, how to communicate with them. Inayos ko rin yung addiction natin, yung mga matitigas na pag-i-English. Dahil dati hindi ako naiintindihan, yeah? And then, palaro ng konti, di ba? You make it, pinasasaya natin yung klase natin. Marami akong games, marami akong mga breaks, maraming pakulo, may video, sinasayawan ko na, kinakantahan ko na, para lang makuha ang attention nila.
Imagine.
So it's easier now, thank God.
This is because of the pandemic, you had to do this online?
Oh, back then, before the pandemic.
Then.
Pandemic is another story. Back to zero ka na naman. Aalamin mo na naman different strategies, how to engage the students. Baliktad naman ngayon. Sobrang quiet kasi nakamute lang lahat. Ayaw magsalita.
Waka
Ngayon naman,
natulog.
baliktad, pasasalitain mo, pa-actionin mo, magpakita lang ng video, it's a struggle.
It's tough. Let's hear from Ronnie. Ron, ano naman ang experience mo to make the students not mute themselves these days na nasa online kayo?
Yeah, before I'm gonna proceed, actually, I will agree with Ramil. When I first came here, actually, here in New York City, 2003, I started in California, and to be honest, I actually resigned after 2 months of teaching because I didn't have any idea what teaching will like in the United States.
Yeah.
Ka kasi sa bundok at nasalta ka sa Maynila, and then now in New York City, when researching kung ano talaga yung working in the United States, I thought it's gonna be like easy. You have the materials, you have the computer, you just have to come and then teach in the class. When teaching in the Philippines, we are like content driven. So, and they're all coming from the same background. Lahat mga estudyante natin, mga Filipino. And if you're teaching in the United States, they're coming from different background, very diverse yung population inside inside the classroom. So as a teacher, you're not only teaching them the content, but you really have to do something. You have to think outside the box in order for like to present your lesson very interesting to the students. Like you give them games, you give them like hands-on practice or anything that will interest them to really do work in the classroom. But going into remote, it looks like it's different. So like after a while, since March, I was really like thinking, how are you gonna
Mhm.
do that? And eventually, like I came up like really looking into like what's going on in not only like doing remote teaching, also have to look at like how are the students really prepared to do online classes. So that's the first thing that you have to ask yourself when you prepare your lesson and when um, you design your instruction based on the need of the student really. Of course, you also have to consider their psychological things. Okay ba sila? Maayos ba yung pakiramdam nila? Wala ba silang sakit? Of course, like yung social emotion nila. Are they really to really engage with their classmates? Kasi mahirap nga magturo dahil sa New York, we don't allow our students, or I mean, we don't force them to turn on their mic. I
Mhm.
mean, camera also, like you can mute them. But I actually feel like that I'm really a teacher, teaching remotely kasi sabi nga ni Romel, it's easy for you to just mute them. Or sometimes if they misbehave, like you can just like kick them out from from your Zoom meeting. But of course, like as a teacher, we don't want to do that. So it's kind of like this is the time really that I'm kind of like you become effective as a teacher. You don't have to deal with like any issues like inside the classroom.
Question.
Okay.
When this pandemic started, and then we all had to go and realize that we have to know how to manage the Zoom or StreamYard. Did you also have to like learn this, or meron na kayong background information on how to go about the Zoom classes? And or were you just half step higher than the students, or 10 steps higher than the students? Ano bang sitwasyon?
Marivir, when we
Mhm.
started,
Yeah.
so siguro we had like 2 days lang. We had a professional development. Wala akong alam sa Zoom. I never tried that before.
Mhm.
So, crash course kaming mga teachers. Then the week after, Monday, magturo na kayo. So,
Oh,
it
so
was
it
really,
was a last minute preparation for all of
yes,
you.
yes. The
Okay.
whole New York City Public School was not
Mhm.
prepared. And lahat ng technology, sige, in-offer lahat ng technology. They're very generous naman sa
Mhm.
resources.
Mhm.
Any apps you need, they'll give it to you, pero overload naman. You don't know what to use. So, ang style niyan, teachers will be experimenting on different apps, different ways
Mhm.
to use technology. Ano lang, trial and error na lang
Mhm.
until you discover something na yung mga Google Classroom, lahat yan, until
Wow.
ma-discover mo na kung saan ka sanay, then you just develop it.
So talagang
How about the
hands-on.
parents? Yeah, how about the
Oo.
parents? How did they adjust to the new module?
Yeah. Ano
Ronnie, you want
nasabi,
to answer that?
ano
I
nasabi
Mhm.
mo,
think
Ron?
like like for us actually like for us teachers I'm kind of like we are at least we're kind of like it's easy for us to adjust most especially if you're already doing this as a leader in the community. I heard about Zoom. I heard about Google Meet. We have Teams. Like in the past, I actually attended the workshop about this. Like I think 2 years ago, like before the pandemic. But never did I like came to my mind that one day I'm gonna be using it. So like having like for like doing trainings like for I think 2 or 3 days.
Mhm.
At least little by little na naka-adjust kami. But I think it's difficult to our parents, most especially if you are working here in like in the city, in New York City. I think most of our parents here are working parents. I don't think they are really like into like I probably some of them might be into technology, but halos lahat ng mga parents natin, ng mga estudyante natin, actually, most especially in public school, I don't think like their job is really into this like new teaching like technology. Like I don't know if they're aware that there's Zoom, there's like Google Meet and everything like that. At the same time, of course, kind of like most of our parents they depend their education really like of their children to schools teachers. So after the pandemic, like when the lockdown happened and students will forced to stay at home with their parents, I think it's kind of like difficult for parents really to adjust. Like I'm also a parent. I have a 5-year-old daughter with me, and like if you are working, like I'm teaching online, and I have a daughter that needs my help. It's kind of like it's pain to think that you're a teacher, but you can help your own children
Yeah.
at home. So I think that's the same thing with the parents also with the student parents at home. Mahirap. Wala talagang time na tumulong sa kanila. So
That's hard. I thought that being inside the house, na kayong lahat inside the house, is like making you accessible as a parent and a teacher at the same time. Pero is that not the case? Mahirap din na you have your own school age children na with you as teachers.
Yeah, it's a struggle. Imagine yung mga New York City parents, they
Mm.
have one or two or three children. Kahit na nasa states tayo, some of them would have internet problems. Yung laptop, they need to borrow from the school,
Mhm.
iintay nila, and internet connection, yung maingay sa class. Sometimes, pag nag-unmute yung mga bata, you'll hear different noises. May nagtitib si nana,
Talaga?
yung aso kumakahol, may kapatid na umiiyak. Kaya pala dapat lang talaga i-mute sila and they have a lot of distractions.
Oh
We
my
feel
God.
for them. Kaya number one rin yung mental health and wellness ng mga bata.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, so Marivir,
mhm.
since we're
Go
talking
ahead.
about the teaching strategies, maybe some parents have questions for our teachers, no? Maybe they want to ask for some
Yeah,
tips
they
and
can type
advice.
in. They can type
Yes.
in
Mm-hmm.
their questions on
On our
Facebook,
Facebook. Mm-hmm.
and we already have a lot of congratulatory messages here.
Oh,
Actually, Grace, yeah,
okay. I
from
haven't been
Josh in
looking.
Manila. He was our guest last time. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope sabi niya, my mom, aunts, and grandmothers were educators, and I witnessed all the challenges of teaching
Mm-hmm.
profession. Codes to Ram and Ronnie, mabuhay kayo.
Yeah.
I Josh hope is you are having a time and are safe
Um,
after the snowstorm. I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to say hi to my very Pal. And Ate Ria, she's from Nevada,
Mm-hmm.
Arizona. I mean, she's saying hi. She also has her own blog, and I guested her one time, and I'm glad that she's making this shout out. And also our colleague Grace Mirna
Mm-hmm.
Gutierrez, who has
Okay.
her magazine.
Hi, Ate
Oh, thank
Mirna.
you
Thank
for
you so
tuning in.
much.
Thank you.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. So if you have questions, you can write it, and we will gladly ask our teachers here.
Yeah, lalo na mga parents, if you have
Yes.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure sila maraming mga challenges because of the new system, no?
Mahirap kaya.
Mahirap talaga. Kasi minsan I have friends who says that yung mga anak nila nakakatulog na while having the virtual class, nakakatulog na daw talaga. Kasi sa sobrang haba siguro or they cannot really interact.
How many hours do you have for one subject? Is it how much is mandated in the
Mhm.
city
actually, we shortened the number of minutes to class. I think we only have 40
per
minutes
class?
per classes. Ramil has like I think in middle school, so it's different also. The
Mhm.
problem actually is since we shortened the number of minutes per class, actually we really don't have like in my case in my school, there's
Mm.
no in between like passing. So it's kind of like if you start with your class at 8:20 to 8:40, like 8 to 9 o'clock for 40 minutes. And then 9:01, you're gonna start again with another class. So just imagine these kids like having uh, like in front of the computer for 5 straight periods or six straight periods in a day without actually like break or like some of them their break time is like at the end of the day. Depends on their schedule. Like in high school, like I would agree that it's really difficult, most especially for small children. So if it's hard for young adults like what we have in high school or middle school, how much more like for elementary students?
Right. Ano ang age ng mga bata na tiniteach mo, Ramil and Ronnie? How old are your students?
I teach in the middle school, so nasa early teens yan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kaya
And
andyan yung feeling adult na sila, pero bata pa. It's
yeah,
really,
andyan
all
na
the
yung time of
hormones are
being
there.
Mm.
rebellious.
Kumusta naman po ang mga attitudes nila towards you? Have you been disrespected? Ano po
Mm.
ba yung mga challenges ninyo sa kanila regarding their attitudes?
Yeah.
Your students' attitudes?
During that time nung medyo bago pa, namura na
Hmm?
ako ng lahat ng, lahat ng narinig mong mura sa sine.
Talaga?
Naririnig ko na yun. Tapos nababato ka pag nakatalikod ka, mahuli mo ng binato ka eh. Tapos sabi mo, why did you do that? Sabi niya, I didn't do nothing. Hindi pa siya, i-deny pa nila kahit nakita mo na. So, but eventually, sa awa ng Diyos, talagang matututo ka. The administrators will give you mentors, they will give you coordinators, assistant principals, who will give you practical tips. And, teachers magaling, gaya-gaya lang kami. Kung style ni teacher, magaling yon, gagayahin ko yon.
Parang
Adapt lang tayo.
may role modeling din kayo among
Yes.
yourselves. Wow.
Mhm.
Ano naman ang
The,
naging experience mo, Ronnie, in terms of
Yes,
students na
oo.
hindi respectful?
actually, I think I was just like this when I actually started in New York City, because like I went to John Bowen High School. It's
Mhm.
the biggest high school also here in New York City. So my first few years, actually 3 4 years, I was really assigned to teach students that they don't have any credits in high school. But because I'm new, they actually put me. My classroom is actually inside the cafeteria. So like students that actually misbehave, or like students that creates trouble inside the class, they actually don't show up in my class. So that time in 2003, 2004, 2005, I don't think the school really cares about the number of students that you pass in the class. So and then I don't have any idea also that if like you're new, you don't know the students also. So like I was for me, like I was like thinking that whoever goes to my class, that's my responsibility. So I do phone calls, I contact their parents, or like even
Mm.
students. But since it's inside the cafeteria, they blend with other students, so I really don't have any trouble students like to begin with. So it's kind of like that was like a heaven for me for the past 3 years. And
I
then
have a question. Why are you placed in a cafeteria? Why is your classroom in a cafeteria?
when you're new to the school, like I think this is the experience of every teacher. It's kind of
Mhm.
like they're gonna really put you to a situation that sometimes it's not comfortable. So it's kind of like the leftovers of or like classrooms, or like the students. That's what you have. And also maybe administrators also think that if you can handle that situation, then they're gonna put you there. And then little by little, you improve.
So it's a test.
It could be a test. I
Wow.
appreciate exactly that I started with that, and then when I started teaching like good classes, I'm kind of like I realized that I think I'm gonna really fit into those kind of students. So I requested it to like teach it again, because I'm kind of like sometimes if you that becomes your expertise, and kind of like you achieve more when those students pass your class and eventually they graduate.
Great.
Yeah.
There is
I
a
have a question. Yeah.
oh,
Okay, go
okay.
ahead.
There's a reaction from Marjorie Martinez Grace,
Mm-hmm.
and a question too. She says, much respect to you teachers. I'm also an educator and I completely understand the struggles you two go through. Her question is, what educational platforms or activities do your students love to do in your class? Maybe we start with Ramil and then we listen to Ronnie.
Alright, so marami yan lalo na ngayon for online. Of course, the basic thing is Google Classroom. It organizes it's like a mini school online. So ano yung subjects mo, I
Mhm.
think you know that. And maraming apps. I use Go Formative, I use Edgenuity, I use Kahoot, quizzes. Actually, it's overload, and ayaw na namin bigyan masyado ng mga apps yung mga bata. But the best thing for me is an independent learning tool na the kids could learn on their own. So they take the quiz on their own, they take the homework on their own. Kasi at their own pace na we adapt to their needs. Kasi
I see.
iba yung kaya nila mag-advance, sige mag-advance ka na. Kung mahuli pa sila, we give you accommodation. I'm just there to monitor them na lang. And I'll give you a tip rin, yung style ko is, I, Maribir mentioned a while ago, I have a YouTube page. I
Mhm.
record all my lessons there. And, the kids can just watch it
They
again
can
and
go there.
again. Yes. Yun ang
There, there.
strategy natin. And alam mo, may
Yeah.
ulterior motive ako niyan para pag matanda na ako, pag
Ano
nasa
yun?
classroom na ako, hirapan na ako magturo. Okay, just watch my video.
That's a very smart way, ha? Parang
So do your
archive.
Nakaka-pressure. I make at least 2 videos every week ng lesson ko. Iba pa yung mga kalokohang video.
Oo
Imagine.
nga, lahat ng tips no, binibigay mo. I particularly watched this episode of yours na you're giving tips to teachers in the Philippines who would like to try it out here in the US.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that, yeah, that's very educational and useful for them.
Helpful sa mga teachers.
Mm,
Yeah.
correct.
So yan, marami kasi the demand for Filipino teachers, it's coming soon.
Mhm.
Matapos lang siguro itong pandemic na to. And
Mm.
they're giving J1 visas na eventually, dadami na naman ang Filipino teachers dito.
Oo. As a matter of fact, may shortage tayo ng teachers ngayon, di ba? So eventually,
in some
yeah.
states, they hire, right? Like Arizona, yung mga New Mexico, ganyan. New York, wala ngayon, di ba, Ronie? Wala ngayon eh.
Is it because of the budget?
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Oh, okay.
So ano naman
Alright.
ang strategy ni Ronie para maaliw ang
Ronie,
mga
mga
bata?
adults na
In
tinuturuan yan eh.
response, in response, is it
high school?
Too?
Actually, there's, as what Ramil mentioned, actually, there's so many like online platforms na pwede natin gamitin to
Mm.
incorporate with our teaching. So I actually started with, I do Jeopardy, Kahoot, like games, and then
Oh, wow.
Jamboard, Peer Deck, and then like a little, sometimes like you're learning and you really want to find out ano ba talaga yung gusto mong ipagawa sa mga bata. So I actually just stick with one right now. Like most of the time I do the Peer Deck. I think kids really wanted to work. They work well when you put them into, like we're using Zoom. So like I would put them into breakout rooms. So like group of 5, group of 4, and then they discuss with each other. I give them the link. If they can't finish the task for that 45 minutes or 40 minutes or like a short period of time that they were online, I'll allow them to continue that at home and
Yeah.
like doing their work independently. It's kind of like, it's easy. This time it's like easy also for us to, it's a lot of work to check their outputs, but it's like it saves in there, so you don't have to collect the papers, and then you can, like, from your do now to the last activity that you have at the end of the day, if you give them the link, you can actually revisit them during your time, or you can show the students' work, model work to students the following day, just to encourage, like, tomorrow. That's actually the surprises that I'm giving to, like, my students. Who's gonna be the next that I'm gonna present in class. They're also looking forward to it, and then I give them extra points. So they're kind of like, they send me a message like at the end of the day that, like, Mr., can you please present my question number 1, or like my answer for number 2, my work for number 3 tomorrow in class, because they want to show to their class also. So kind of like, that's the surprise that I would give them. I give them like 5 points extra on the next test. So that's another strategy actually that they're gonna be excited to do. And then there's a lot of them will send me a message. I say, like, everyone will get an extra credit for doing a great job yesterday, something like that.
So
I have a
that's
question.
an incentive. Yeah. Okay, Grace.
Yeah, so I'm just curious now. You both teach in a public school. How big is your how many students do you teach in your virtual class? Like I'm just wondering, if do they fit in one screen?
Yeah, kasya naman. I have each class is about 32 students, and then I have 4 to 5 classes in a day. Kasya naman yung screen. Depende sa screen mo yan eh. Kasya lahat. Minsan 2 screens, gano'n.
Oo, nakita ko nga yung TV mo eh.
Laptops, yeah.
Oo. How large is your screen sa bahay? Yung TV set mo?
Parang sine.
Oo,
I think
parang sinihan eh.
that's like the
Yes,
trend today.
Right.
Ayan, set up mo sa TV mo.
makikita mo talaga ang mukha ng mga bata parang life size.
Uh,
Correct.
yeah. So Ramil is actually using like two screens. So that's it's easier for
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like teachers also they invest in like another monitor to just see your students in class.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but like we all have like I think in New York City that's the maximum number of students that we had like 30
30. Mm-hmm.
34. Yeah. Um, so we all have like I think 34 students and I have six classes. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like you, parang nasanay ka na rin na like you're only seeing those small squares in front of you. That's one good thing actually with this pandemic also, if you're gonna think it into like the positive perspective, you know, you can really like get all of those just like in just one screen. And if students are really wanted to learn, I think they can.
Amazing. Pero may tanong ako sa inyo. Overtime na tayo, but it's all right. Kasi I
It's
want to
okay.
exhaust questions. On the physical aspect of this pandemic, kasi nasistrain masyado yung mga mata natin, always looking at the screen. That includes teachers and the students. So, ano ba yung, how do you also make yourself healthy? How do you make your eyes able to handle all this? Yung strain, kasi nakakasira din ng mata. Maybe after this pandemic, lahat tayo nakasalamin na. So what are the teachers doing to to
Nice
keep
question.
healthy?
Nice
Yeah, it's an
question.
issue also for children.
So, yung number one, yung eyes, you mentioned that. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I don't know, talagang sira na yung mata ko eh. May glasses ako, ngayon naka-contacts ako. Pero
Uh-huh.
lumala siya. I don't know, it's given na yan. Pero
Mm.
number two, yung back pains. I developed back pains. I have to have therapy treatment. Pero nag-improve naman siya. And after a class, I need to walk.
Yeah.
I need to go out. Talaga kahit maglakad kalye, it's very helpful. Exercise, kahit sa TV, mag-Zumba lang
So,
ako,
parang
gayahin ko
gaganyan
yung
ng
mga
ano mo,
Zumba
ng host mo.
sa YouTube, di ba? Ginagawa natin yan.
Right,
Kailangan
right.
talaga
Oh
may
my goodness.
libangan. Netflix, malaking tulong, bonding with the family, or else maloloko rin si teacher.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I,
Yeah. How
How
about
I,
about
you, Ron?
Teacher Ronnie?
I totally agree. Actually, it's funny because like with Unified with the group, we actually
Mm.
come up with a challenge that's the at least 10K steps a day that we actually
Oh,
spend at the end of the day. So that's like for whoever. It's not only for Unified but anybody like outside New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Kasama kami sa Philippines na they join the challenge. I actually, despite all the trauma, the challenges that this pandemic brought, actually, I was able to like reinvent myself. Nag-join ako mag-hiking. So like every Saturday and Sunday. So that's one thing that I kind of like I enjoy. You can really go out in the park in the city. So would rather like go outside na walang tao. So like I think I've been to like siguro 7 mountains already along
oh,
the
Galing.
really?
area over there. So like I think you really have to take care of your health also because
Oo.
mahirap, yeah.
That's why very fit ang mga teachers natin, no? They're very active. Aside from teaching, they have their own activities.
I know, and they have
That's
to keep
good.
healthy.
Yeah.
Kasi
Mm-hmm.
nakaka-tense ng nerves din naman kasi yan. Every day you face so
Mhm.
many personalities, mga bata pa.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it's
I,
really tough.
I
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
actually
gosh.
I actually realized na marunong pa pala ako mag-bike after like how many years, like I think that was like in high school when the last time that I rode a bike,
Imagine.
biking and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Yeah.
I
So
think
that's
tama ka, Ronnie, kasi that's the silver lining sa pandemic. I shared this, Grace, dun sa when GMA interviewed me dun sa yung you started that the pandemic heroes, something like that.
Mhm.
It's a silver lining. It happens for us teachers, and you would see online people learning new skills. They develop their talents, hidden talents. They do what they're passionate.
Mhm.
Tignan mo si Grace and Maribir hosting a show like this.
Yeah, it's a
Talagang
good it's a
something
good
will
result.
happen, di ba?
Thank you so much. That's
And
nice
it's
to
really an
hear.
inspiration. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a
Thank
lot of things that we need to do para to keep our sanity, right?
Yes.
Including this
Yeah.
show.
That's the main reason why we were doing this, right, Marivir?
Right, right. And it's so
So,
good to have the
so
teachers talk about their
there's,
issues
Yeah.
these days.
there's actually a positive things like despite of what's
Mm-hmm.
going on in the in the in the world.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
because like that's what Aramil said. I was never like thought na like one day like what you did, Marivir. I actually presented a paper
mhm.
last when was that 2 Saturdays like ago,
And
like sa
then,
Philippines as part of our webinar that hindi ko inisip kasi sa New York City every year yung salary naman namin nag-increase naman. It's like we don't have
Mm-hmm.
extra as long as you have your masters plus 30, but like sa Pilipinas kasi very competitive, but like that's why I kind of like doon na lang stop yung learning with like I didn't know that
mhm,
I can one day sit down and do my research and present it to like
that's
teachers
good.
in the
Finally,
Philippines.
it came out.
Yeah,
Amazing. We have
Right.
reactions here, Grace, from
Okay.
Melissa
I'm sorry.
Alviar.
I'm not seeing the screen. So yeah, I leave
Oh,
it up to
yeah.
you.
Oh, it's okay. So we have Melissa Alviar, our good
Mm-hmm.
friend Melissa. Stay well
Right.
and safe to both Ramil and Ronnie, and to all teachers. She
Thank
said,
you.
"Hope you'll enjoy the holidays soon." And also, Ria Serrano says she
Mm-hmm.
loves this. Oh, amazing! Thank you
Oh,
very
thank
much.
you so
Hi,
much.
So,
Ria.
Yeah,
thank you
those
for
are the friends in the
watching.
community.
Amazing.
Okay. So
So,
I have yeah, you have other
few
questions?
more. Go ahead. You
Okay,
first, Grace.
I do have. So Teacher Emil and Teacher Ronnie, so how do you foresee the future of the school system, having discussed all this?
Oh, nice question. So,
Mhm.
I could foresee since we're exposed already with online learning, with electronic learning, self-learning with students, it's gonna be a blended learning. Right, normal na
Mhm.
yan.
Mhm.
Technology will already be integrated in the
Right.
normal pace of learning.
Mhm.
At everything will always come from the teacher na. Students will learn to learn independently, learn on their own.
Mhm.
This is a good training for them na eh. Actually, may purpose nga, right? And
Yeah.
before I end, yung mga I'm streaming this live rin sa YouTube. I have
Oh,
my
thank you so
students
much.
na I wanna greet Timatan, I wanna greet
Oh,
Mhm.
Sergio, King Adrian, Sergio, always ang dami niyang message. Sino pa? Elisa, Emily,
Wow.
Karma, my students are hi to all of you guys. Thank you
that's so
very much.
nice.
Hi to
Very
them
nice.
also, and thank you
Hi
for
to
tuning
all the
in.
students.
Yeah, do your homework. I gave you a homework.
This
Work on it.
interview. This
But
interview.
if you're watching here, you're excused from the homework.
Awesome. That's the
Plus
power of a
five.
teacher. Oh,
Teacher,
plus
plus
five.
five now.
Incentive. Oh my gosh. And then how about
Yes.
Ronnie?
How about Teacher Ronnie?
yeah.
How do you foresee?
I think that's this gonna be the trend now. Like, so I don't think remote learning gonna stop from here. Like after the pandemic,
Mhm.
it's funny because we are always talking about 21st century education, like we are into technology, but little did we know na hindi pa pala tayo really ready para sa mga technologies. But I think we learn a lot during this unprecedented times. Marami tayong natutunan sa technology and how to really use it and incorporate in our like teaching and learning. So I think sa CUNY actually, yung mga college algebra basic classes that usually students are took in like their first year, or freshman year and sophomore year. I think there's a study really going on right now na gawin ng online. And then if our students are ready for the like major subjects, that's the time that they would go to school. So I don't know if it's gonna pursue. Right now, like I'm teaching college algebra sa both uni, like Queensboro and Brooklyn College. We do online classes, and even for the next term, sa mga basic like math class, algebra, trigonometry, we're gonna be doing it online.
That's a
Yeah,
good
Okay.
trend.
that's
Yeah.
another thing. Like we're
Looking
always have
forward to that.
we always
Mhm.
have problems with classroom shortages of classrooms and something like that. So kung magawa na natin itong online, there are really students that are ready to do online class. They can really work well with work independently. Yeah, so maybe we can streamline like who are the students that wanted to do like online learning. They can do that as their option instead of forcing them to go to school.
Yes, right.
Correct.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
thank you so much. I
Yes,
have no
thank
more
you so
questions,
much.
Grace,
I have no more question,
so
but
far.
before, yes, yeah, everything is good. But before we end this,
Mhm.
maybe both of our teachers would like to say something about their respective organizations, and also for Teacher Ramil to talk a little bit more about his YouTube channel.
Yeah, whatever it is, promote yourselves.
Please
Yeah,
go
Parting
ahead.
shots. Yes.
so again, I want to greet my family. Hi, Jane. Hi, Julian. Hi,
Jane.
Raphael. Okay, the nice thing now, I have college students, so
Mhm.
the house, wala sila, and then pag nagtuturo tayo, pero bumabalik pag holidays like this. Pag
Correct.
reunion
Yeah.
kami, nawala tuloy ako. And I want to greet my students, all of them in YouTube. They're watching right now. And then, of course, after family, after I'm the PRO. It's a Filipino American teacher group. It's been here for about 30 years now, and serve pa rin kami in our own way, whether online, whether through different ways. And I have a Filipino American Society of Saint Joan of Arc. I have
Mhm.
a parish group. Grace, you remember that?
Yes, yes, I
Nanalo
do.
tayo ng Caroling,
Yes,
Sister Caroling Grace. Nako.
maybe someday.
Yeah, babalik pa rin tayo. And then I also have the Feast of Bo Sanchez. We have Feast New York, and we are also active in that. And of course, lastly, Rampage Math. I blog
Mhm.
about math topics for 7th and 8th grade math topics. I blog about culture, about FilAm culture, discarding Filipino, and I also blog about professional development for teachers here and back in the Philippines.
Mm.
It's awesome. We thank you very much. Thank you for inviting us here. And sana lumago palalo ang I natin.
I and I. Thank you naman,
Salamat
Mr.
po.
Ramil.
Thank you for being with us
More
tonight.
power,
Yes.
of course.
Thank you so much.
Salamat
Same to
po.
you. And how about Ronnie? Ano naman ang
Um,
iyong parting shots po, Teacher
Okay, so
Ronnie?
muli po magandang gabi sa lahat. In behalf,
Mhm.
like right now, actually, Unified, we just launched our Unified sa Kinabukasang scholarship program. We actually have right now, I think, 7 education students other than those like elementary and then middle school scholars that we have. Right now,
Mhm.
ongoing yung aming webinar sa Pilipinas, which is the theme actually is a process of scientific writing fundamentals and general rules. And then we actually focus on research writing. And then tomorrow, actually, we have uh, orientation for the Unified Western Visayas. I think that's the biggest so far that's joining Unified in the Philippines. We also have the new chapter actually in the U.S. Virgin Islands. They just had their first activity also last Saturday. And I think like I'm happy that we are growing actually, and we can reach out to a lot of teachers that actually really need help. At the same time, it's sharing of teachers' best practices. I think that's the best with this technology right now. They can actually like you can. It's easy to conduct like workshop trainings or anything that would help like teachers at the same time like you're helping them at the same time you gain knowledge from them also. So I just want to say hi to all of them. I think
Thank
that's
you. Thank you, Ron. I'm
Thank you. Thank you,
very nice and
to
good
FilAm
luck with all your
educators.
endeavors and thank you for helping each other. Mga teachers are providing support to each other. That's really important.
I
And
think that's
one last, nagpapabati
Yes.
yung student ko, my student
Okay.
King Adrian. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Adrian.
Happy birthday.
Adrian.
Adrian.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday, Adrian.
Adrian. Ngayon daw.
All right. All
Okay. Once
right.
again, thank you, and we hope to get you back again here.
We'll stick around
To
to watch
discuss
the
more
next
topics.
part.
Yes, please, please. Stay
Please,
why
and we
not?
tuned.
have have a
Don't
raffle
leave us.
also.
Just be
We have
here
a raffle.
because our next guest is going to be very interesting too. It's going to be about the beautiful world of Miss Universe.
And
All
please
right.
ask questions if you have
Yeah.
any.
Also, please prepare your
Please
questions. We
participate.
can agree on what question you want to ask for our um, audience later for our prizes. Okay.
Okay. All
So
right. So please stay with us. Don't leave yet.
don't leave yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how are you there, Grace? Okay ka lang?
Okay lang ako. Maginaw,
I like
maginaw.
our hat. Now we're ready to introduce our next guest.
Yes,
You
a
know, kailangan we
very...
have to be ready with our wave kasi it has to be
Ay,
ano
ganun
daw,
ba?
ala Miss
Okay,
Universe
sige.
daw
We
sabi.
will, we will ask him to teach us how to do that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so,
Hold on.
all
Okay,
right.
you will introduce him, right?
Yes, so for our second segment, I'd
Yeah.
like to introduce to you Felix Manuel, who is a graduate of nursing from the Royal Pontifical University of Santo Tomas in Manila and has worked in the
Oh.
Philippines, England, and New York City as a registered nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Considered as one of the Philippines beauty pageant experts, he is a contributing writer for Mr. Ricky Law's fanfare column in the Philippine Star. A member of the Filipino American Press Club of New York, he has written in several publications in the area. He is also the senior correspondent for OPMB Worldwide, a trusted pageant website. Marivir, let us welcome our colleague in the FilAm Press Club of New York, Felix Manuel.
Yay! Oh, our wave, our wave.
Asan na siya? Hi,
Hi.
Felix! You're on mute.
Hi,
Check your mic.
Felix.
You're on mute. You're on
Unmute
mute.
yourself, please. Oh,
Unmute
I'll
yourself.
do it. Okay.
Okay, all
There you
right.
go. Hi,
Thank you.
Felix.
Hi,
Welcome to the
Hi.
Felix.
show.
Ang lamig.
Thank you for
Anyway,
having us.
hey, congratulations on your new show.
Oh my gosh.
Salamat.
Wow.
And
Yes,
thank
I'm,
you
I'm,
for...
I'm so proud of both of you.
Oh,
Oh, thank you. We are proud of you too and happy that
exactly.
you're
The
here.
feeling is mutual.
Mutual
Awesome. Kami na lahat. Kasi it's
Mutual
Christmas.
Oo nga
Admiration
eh.
Club.
And it's a
Oh,
good
mutual admiration. Oo nga. We
Mhm.
are wearing our Christmas hats.
Yeah, I
Merry
know.
Where is
Christmas, Happy
yours?
Ronnie bought
Where
me
is
Holidays.
that.
yours?
I don't
And
have that
I got
hat,
mine
but
from...
I have my Miss Universe crown.
Sige, iwan mo na yung crown mo.
So you can
Oo,
choose
wear mo
one.
yan.
I have one for
Oh my
each of
God.
you.
Alternate mo na lang. So, yung una muna, maybe Miss Universe World
Both of
or
them are Miss
up to you.
Universe. Because
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to wear them. Malamig. Diyos.
Okay, so all
Ay,
right.
good evening
Let's
to
start with...
everybody watching.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So shall I ask him the first question?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So Felix, you are very known. You are known as a beauty expert
Mm.
in the Philippines as well as here in the community. So how did your passion start for...
Actually, beauty expert is very heavy word. This was given to me by Mr. Ricky Law, but I consider myself a beauty pageant aficionado.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
really love the pageant scene. I love looking at these people, beautiful people. So it actually started when I was young, when I saw my mom's pics and her sister's pics, mga naka-corona kasi. So I was like,
Do
ano to, ba't may corona? Parang ang
Mm-hmm.
saya-saya.
you
So
remember how old were you then?
I think I was 3 or 4.
Oh my.
So
Wow, that early, huh?
and then like my mom was like watching Miss Universe on TV. So I was like, what's that? What's happening? So you
Uh-huh.
got interested in it and eventually tried to follow it. So when I was in elementary, na-calculate mo na usually ang binibining Pilipinas was May and then Miss Universe was July. So pag may newspaper
Oh
drive
wow.
kami sa Lourdes School, Quezon City, I was like looking at the newspapers, browsing kung may mga pictures. So doon ako nag-start mag-collect. I mean, pagupit-kupit ng mga pictures from newspapers. And then when I was in high school, I was in UST,
Mhm.
napakalaki ng library namin. I mean,
we had all the newspapers from the past, nakatago lang. Pati yata La Liga Filipina nandun, ano? But so, I started researching for like the pictures of the winners. And eventually, I completed my list. Tapos yung mga friends ko, ganun din. Parang we're all interested in the same thing. And then it happened like, uh, eventually you found out that it's a big community out there na lahat kayo alipin ng pageants kung
Alipin.
tawagin.
Alipin pero enjoy naman.
Yeah, masaya. I mean, you got you became friends with organizers, with designers. I mean, everybody and everyone who's involved in the pageant scene. So it's a big community. It's a fierce community, but masaya.
But how is the Miss Universe pageant? Is it still going to happen next year? Meron pa ba?
Uh, according to Miss Universe, wala pa. I mean, if you call the office here in New York, they won't say
Mhm.
anything. Pero ang chismis is around February or March.
Oh,
I
so
mean,
it's going
because
to
all the
happen.
delegates are ready na nakapili na halos lahat ng bansa. So, they did Miss USA and Miss Teen USA last November in person in Elvis Presley's mansion. So,
Mhm.
Graceland. So, hopefully it will push to February or March. And hopefully lahat makapunta.
But there's no venue
Yeah.
yet.
No venue yet, pero there was chismis na Florida daw. So we'll see.
Oh, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
So,
So,
talking of your passion about this, so alam mo yung mga history nito. So
Aha.
tell us, sino ba talaga ang pinakaunang Miss Philippines or Miss
let's start
Universe
from
from
what,
the very
1900s
beginning?
pa?
From the very
1900,
beginning.
1900s pa ang
Yeah.
Philippine pageantry?
Mhm.
No,
Let's start.
the first pageant in the Philippines took place in 1908. So
Wow.
nauna tayo sa Miss America. Miss America is 1920. So
Mhm.
what
Japan na
happened back
una.
there? Yeah, what happened back there was like we were under American rule. So
Mm.
parang to showcase the boom of the Philippine economy and stuff like that, they had a Manila Carnival. So
Wow.
in the Manila Carnival, they had to choose like a queen.
Mhm.
So what happened was like people were like asking yung mga sosyal, yung mga dekampanilya, mga mayayaman lang ang pwedeng sumali. And it's
Mhm.
not like a pageant na may swimsuit, it's all about your education, your background, and stuff like that. So they
Wow.
were able to recruit a lot of girls, probably mga 10, and they all competed. And it was votation. It was not like judging or you parade. It wasn't like that. People voted for it. Even the Philippine Assembly voted. And
Oh,
so what
wow.
happened was the
Talaga.
first winner was Leonardo Limhap from the Limhap family, and
Uh-huh. Oh,
then of course there's this saying that the role of the first runner-up is very important. So what happened was Leonardo had to like decline the queenship because she had a trip to Japan. So
oh,
what happened was the second placer, the first runner-up was Pura Villanueva. So Pura Villanueva then became the queen. So
very
first
nice.
pageant pa lang natin, very controversial na. And so
Wow.
this pre-war tradition of the Manila Carnival continued for like 39 years. So all of them are like prominent women, but like the most prominent is uh, the winner from 1920,
Mhm.
Trinidad de Leon. So everybody knows her as she became the Philippine First Lady when
Oh,
Mr. Rojas became president. So
oh, I
siya
didn't
yung
know
lola
that.
naman.
I didn't know that. So look at her crown naman, Felix. Let me be very detailed here. Yung crown
Mhm.
niya is very unique, parang baliktad na triangle. Do you know the
Yeah,
details of that? How did that come about?
during the Manila Carnivals kasi pabonggahan. It was a show
Uh-huh.
of yaman. I mean, if
Oh,
you're from
it
prominent
was a status
families,
symbol
yeah, if you're from prominent
to be
families,
Miss
parang
Philippines.
kailangan ano, ah, yun talaga lahat ng yaman mo i-flaunt mo. I mean, ganun naman noon. So, ayun. So every carnival queen was like, from the rich families.
Right.
So
So was this concentrated in Manila or
Uh,
merong mga other
sa Manila yung
provinces?
carnival, but there were like other carnivals in every province. Like
I
there was
see.
Carnival Queen of Pangasinan, so
So
everywhere.
parang culture talaga natin yan na may mga beauty contest or mga prestigious competition kasi sa mga angka ng mga mayayaman yung mga mga beautiful women na yan.
Uh-huh. Even before the Spanish came,
Mhm.
there was like already historical notation that women were placed in a high um, place in society.
I
So,
see.
gano'n ano na talaga, ingrained na sa culture natin probably.
Now,
Mataas ang tingin natin, alam mo yun sa mga babae.
that's great. That's good.
Okay.
And
So
then
moving forward,
there
So
are
this
like
is
two parts there,
mm,
pre-war and post-war. So, after the war, yung mga pageants mostly nag-focus na sa international competitions. You had
mhm.
Miss Universe and Miss World and then Miss International later on.
After
And then we had Miss Earth.
1940, 45.
1939. So
Oh.
in 19 after the war, the first Miss World pageant was held in 1951 pero wala tayong representative.
Mhm.
In 1952, the first Filipino representative for Miss Universe was chosen. And she was a UST medical student. She was Teresita Toralba Sanchez.
Oh. Oh, you have that. I
Yep.
have that picture.
you have the picture?
She was a Miss. She was representing for Miss Universe.
Yeah, she was our first
Awesome.
representative for Miss Universe. So there was a
Look at
separate
that. That's
there was a
cool.
separate pageant then. And napaka-daring na yan nung time na yun because they had a
Etong
swimsuit
attire na to.
competition. And alam mo naman noon, ayaw ng mga tao mag-swimsuit. I
Did
mean,
she did she did she win?
si what?
Nanalo ba siya?
As Miss Universe, no.
But
The
you
winner
were
was Army Cosella of Finland, and then she
oh yeah,
later
I
on
remember that
went to
Army
the
Excella.
Philippines and married a Filipino.
Right,
And
I
she had
remember my
children
mom
in the
telling me that.
Philippines. Yep.
Wow,
My
so that was
God.
in 1952 pa. We're not even born yet. But
Uh-huh.
Felix,
Very, very
yeah, you're
Wala
you're
pa
so
ako
well
yan.
versed with the pageant industry. Okay, so from 1952, what was the
Mhm.
next beauty pageant?
yeah, ano na
Ah,
nangyari?
Mm-mm.
nagkaroon na marami ng kung ano-anong pageant. The Miss International came about in 1960, and then Miss Asia Pacific in 1968, and then nagkaroon ng Miss Intercontinental, Miss Global, kung ano-ano na. So up
Mm-hmm.
ngayon ang dami-dami ng
Mhm.
contest. But there was another controversial, uh, but she was not a winner. But I know it was an issue. In
Mm-hmm.
1953, there was a Miss Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh-huh.
our former first lady was part of that.
You mean Mrs. Marcos?
Yes, Imelda Romualdez was the Rose of Tacloban, right? So she competed. She was living in Manila. She competed in the Miss Manila segment of Miss Philippines in 1953.
Mhm.
So ang labanan nun was like Miss Manila, Miss Luzon, Miss Visayas, and Miss Mindanao. So she was in the Miss Manila segment. And then she lost there and then nagreklamo siya and was later given on the title Muse of Manila.
Kanino siya
Mm-hmm.
nagreklamo?
Kay Mayor Lacson.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So she was given a subsidiary
Okay.
title of
So, yan,
Muse of Manila.
yan na ba yung
Parang temptation from
pinaka-controversial
there.
at that time?
At that time, yes, kasi syempre, alam pa naman yung parang election lang, di ba? Walang
Mm-hmm.
natalo. Walang
Mm-hmm.
natatalo. Yung ganong, I don't know, I mean, we weren't there when it happened, so, who could say, but I hope I get to speak to her one of these days, though.
Oh my gosh.
That
Alam mo,
will be very interesting.
amazing.
1952 yan ha. So,
Ang
okay.
layo
So,
na ng pala ng history
oo.
ng beauty
So,
pageant ng Pilipinas.
Yeah,
yeah,
then
so, yeah. Go ahead,
in
Felix.
1963, we had our very first runner-up, Lalaine Bennett. So she
Lalaine
was
Bennett.
Bennett. She was an American, and then she an actress. At the
I
same
got
time,
it right.
we have a picture of her. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
it's on
actually
the
my
screen.
most favorite.
Ano siya?
Yeah, she's
Is
really
she
pretty.
mestiza? Is she
Yeah,
Americana,
she's half
Filipina?
American.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
Uh-huh.
during Miss Universe, she said in her speech that her grandfather was part of the first American teachers and, stuff like that. And for me, siya yung pinakamaganda sa akin sa mga queens na hindi ko nakita in person.
Uh-huh.
So she lives in Seattle na yata, I'm not sure, but,
Mm-hmm.
para siyang si Megan.
Kumukha nga, no?
Oo, may
She's still,
resemblance sila ni
she's still
Megan.
around,
Napakaganda
huh?
niya.
Mm-hmm.
She's still around.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then in 1967, from your turf, Maribir from Cebu,
Yes.
we have the very controversial Pilar Pilapil,
Yes.
Oh, 67,
The
66.
beautiful mestiza as well.
67. Yeah.
Okay.
So, si Pilar was like underage when
Uh-huh.
she joined Miss Philippines. So, hindi nila alam, parang, I think she was barely 17. So,
Mm.
I
the
see.
host, Bob Barker, probably knew. Kasi
Oh,
sinabihan daw siya ng, you're not yet 17, parang ganon.
so
And she
did
was
she lie?
pretty, I think.
Oh my God.
She was only 17 at that
She's
time.
not even 17.
Oh, wow.
No,
That's
kasi
that's so young.
in interview namin siya, she said she was underage.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Pilar
ayun.
is a Spanish mestiza and she's an actress
Yeah.
and a beauty
And,
queen.
and, and no, she's very controversial kasi yung mga love affairs and stuff like that. But,
Mm-hmm.
she's very inspirational too because she's a very strong woman. She fights for what she wants and she believes in. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mean, she's someone to look up to. And then, of course, in 1969, everybody has to remember this. 1969, Gloria Diaz, not Gloria Romero, or not Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Gloria Diaz.
Okay.
There you
Gloria
go.
It's Gloria
Diaz,
Diaz,
Miss
one of
Beautiful.
the first
Universe.
ever Miss Universe for the
Mm-hmm.
Philippines.
Gloria
And
Amazing.
she
Maria
became an actress
Aspin.
later on,
I
and
have,
Where,
an award-winning actress at
yeah.
time.
Where is she originally from? Cebu?
Gloria,
Or,
no, she's
yes,
an
her
Gloria.
parents are from Aringay, La Union, so she's Ilocano.
Oh, okay. Our
just like
turf,
you, Grace.
Felix. Yes, Ilocana.
Oh,
Yep.
Oo.
grabe ang,
Man-manang.
And then in
grabe ang,
1973,
mhm.
of course, Margie Moran won, and everybody knows Margie is the apo of President Rojas.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was martial law, so she was given special travel arrangements to go to Greece and represent the Philippines, which she
Oh,
eventually
wow.
won. And then Miss Universe was held the following year in the Philippines.
So, question, what's her edge over the others at this time?
Margie,
Yeah, I would have asked also about Gloria, but now, si Margie, ano ang edge niya over the others according to your research or just your hunch?
uh, I would say she was at the right place at the right time.
Oh my
You
God,
know, I mean, it was
really?
martial law, and the Philippines was put on the spotlight, so you might as well win.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's just for me, but because Miss USA, the first runner-up, was really, gave it all too, and
Mhm.
but Margie won, so swerte-swertihan lang naman yan. It's being at the right place at the right time. Sabi nga ni Gloria, you can never, like when we were asking her to like let her daughter join Isabella, let her join Miss Binibini.
Mhm.
He said, it won't, we're not sure if she's gonna win because she's my daughter. You have to be at the right place at the right time. So,
My gosh, you have a lot of reactions here already, Felix.
Gail.
Yeah, I have a question from Ram, our guest a while ago. Interested na si Ram. Do you prefer the ethnic-looking Filipina or the mixed-race Pinays? Saan tayo lamang?
I think swertihan din yan. I mean, it can go either way. Pwede manalong ethnic and pwede rin manalong half and half. But
Mhm.
knowing yung preference kasi ng judges depende yan
Mm-hmm.
talaga sa mix ng judges. Kung pag halimbawa pinadala mo medyo maitim, pwedeng
Mm.
pumatok. Or kung
Mhm.
pinadala mo half, pwede mo, hindi mo masasabi, sortihan lang talaga yan.
So it's all about timing then.
Yeah.
It's not
I
about the
Mhm.
mean,
judges.
yeah. I mean, ibang combination ng judges, ibang lalabas na winner eh.
Mm.
Feeling ko
Right,
Hindi mo
right.
hindi mo talaga
Mhm.
masabi. It's all about luck.
Amazing.
Okay. Do you have other questions pa, Marivier? Sorry, di ko nakikita talaga eh.
It's all right. We have a reaction from Dr. Alice Almendral.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's not a
Alice.
question, but she's saying that Felix, she has known you for 30 years now, since
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were
since
in
the
back college.
Tomasian nursing days. And she can attest to your innate microscopic eye. The potential of the queen. And you have touched many lives, including myself. By the way, those
Um,
pair of dark glasses have been a signature way back then. So
I
since noon
agree.
pa in
I
wala,
college
agree.
wala lang ako makita, pasensya na. And Alice is a beauty queen.
right, right, in New York,
Yeah,
she's
she's Mrs.
our
Philippines International 2030. She represented the Philippines way back in 2013 in Chicago, and I was there to support her.
you're
Yeah,
wow,
you've been always supportive of our Filipina, candidates
I mean,
for every pageant.
who else
Mm-hmm.
would support the Filipino candidate? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
tayo naman, instead of like bashing, why not
support.
promote our beauty? So, I mean,
Yes.
it's just like Melanie Marquez in 1979. She was bashed because of her poor English, and then she
Mm,
won Miss International. Alam mo yun,
right.
sino ba magsasabi, di ba, na kahit nagkalat siya, she won, and she's an inspiration. She's
I
Miss
remember
International.
I remember her term na I like my long-legged. That
Aha.
was like what those
And
kind of
don't judge my brother. He's not a book. Yung mga
Oh,
tipong ganon. Oo.
those are her melanated na
oh my
partner.
god.
I
Parang
think she
ano lang
even
yun
made a
eh.
book, no?
I
She
know.
even made a book of her famous lines, famous
I
quotes.
remember
Oh my god,
we
yeah.
guested with Tito Boy before sa
Mm-hmm.
ABS, and we were talking about like peklat sa legs, like, and she said, ay, pwede mo naman lagyan ng makeup leg. Parang, what? So, like, parang, oh, like, biglang tawa kami ng tawa, parang, tas siya din tawa ng tawa. So, she's funny, and, ganun
Ah,
talaga siya yun eh. She's one of the, like, most real queens I've ever seen. Alam mo
yung
yun,
totoo
Okay.
totoo.
parang, sige lang, go,
Okay.
Nice.
go.
I have a question about the issues na na-encounter mo
Mhm.
before, then, and now. How do you compare the issues? Like, yung beauty, number one. Yung
Aha.
beauty ng mga candidates before. We can say that it was an organic beauty, right?
Yeah.
So ngayon, ang beauty
Retalk.
has
Given
something
na.
to do with science,
Aha.
right? Okay, so what is your opinion on that?
Ako kasi, for me, parang, if Ven- quoting Venezuela as an example,
Mm-hmm.
they have been remaking their girls since the 70s. And it has worked well because sila may pinakamaraming winners. Wala
Mhm.
namang pinagbawal na bawal lang may retoke. So, live and let live. For me lang ha, ako okay lang kasi parang may purpose ang plastic surgeon sa buhay natin. So if it makes you confident, then go for it. Ngayon, if you prefer to be natural, iyon na yun. Kung pinanganak kang Diyosa ka, Diyosa ka. Pero kung mareretoke ka, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
that's
just
very
for me. Ah.
yeah, that will create a lot of opinions,
I
and
know, I know, I
controversy.
know.
Oh my gosh. Pero may controversial question na naman ako sa iyo, Felix. It just occurred to me. Yeah.
Okay,
What
ano
what is
yun?
what is your stance on like can transsexual
Oh,
people
no.
join the Miss Universe? Do you allow it?
I mean, Miss Universe allows it, so why not?
Mhm.
I mean,
So
who
that
am I to like tell them not to?
Okay, so that's open na
I
kahit na
think
It
hindi
still
last
has
year,
been,
no?
naturally
it had
woman,
in
natural woman.
2018, Miss
Oh,
Spain.
2018, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it has happened already. So I have
has
no
it been
problems with it.
controversial? Has it?
Yeah. I
Uh-huh.
mean,
Until
it
now,
depends again. It's a matter of, I know, it's your opinion.
I see.
I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
kung against ka, di against ka. Kung hindi, edi go. Basta ako, kung sabi ni Miss Universe, pwede di go.
Yeah,
Who am
correct.
I to like
Okay.
tell them not to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So those are the issues, no? Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about naman yung inspirational side of the beauty pageant.
Mm-hmm.
So among the mga beauty candidates or beauty titleists that you know, sino ang
Uh-huh.
naging inspiration sa mga aspiring beauty queens?
Well, for me, siguro number one, si Pia. Because of
Pia
her
Wurtzbach.
never say, yeah, her never say
Mm-hmm.
the attitude. She joined Binibini 3 times.
Mm.
I mean, di ba
Right.
kung iba lang yun, once lang, tama na. Twice, sobra na. Pangatlo pa, di ba? But, she won on her third try and then she became Miss Universe.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's for me parang never give up on your dream. Sige lang ng fight. And in fact, nung nanalo siya, parang hindi pa siya yung original na nanalo nung una, 'di
Oo.
ba?
My
Parang
Mm-hmm.
God.
I was there in Las Vegas when it happened. So nagkakagulo kaming lahat. Parang, ha?
Mm-hmm.
Ano nangyari? Bakit natalo si Pia? And then
Wow.
it was given to her. So lahat kami naloka and paglabas namin ng venue, syempre nagwawala yung mga taga kabilang bayan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So ang gulo-gulo pero ang saya-saya. And then when she went to New York to live here as Miss Universe, nandito kami.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to spend Christmas with her that time. And nakakatawa kasi parang ang tagal naming nag-antay. Like for me as a pageant fan na,
Mm-hmm.
mula nung 1973 hanggang 2015, ganun katagal yung inantay ko para makakita lang ng Miss Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the first time you saw the real pageant?
Na, the first time I saw it was like in 2005 sa Bangkok. I went there. And
Uh-huh.
then in 1994, my first job after like I finished nursing, I worked for ABS-CBN as a researcher for Miss Universe 1994. So
Mm-hmm.
there, nakopya ko yung mga tapes ng previous pageants. So it was a part of my collection. I mean, like ngayon, dala-dala ko yung mga collection ko. Yung
Pakita mo
part
nga.
ng collection ko
Can
ito.
we
Atagay.
see?
Yes.
Wow.
Sinong beauty
Oh.
queen yan?
This is Cecilia Boloco from Chile and Michelle Royer from Miss USA. Yan lang yung part ng ng pagiging pageant fan and collector and stuff. So,
Amazing. You have a lot of
Oh my
questions here,
goodness.
Ronnie. Eto, si
Oh,
Ram na
okay.
naman may tanong. Paano talaga to si
Ram, you're into pageant pala, ha?
Paano ba daw? What do you think of pageant without makeups? Paano ba tinanggal ang swimsuit category? Wala nang swimsuit. Ano na lang? Character or ano na lang talaga? Mukha without makeup. Does that work?
I mean, they have, during the casual interviews for the pageant, they are advised to like wear light makeup.
Uh-huh.
So, alam mo yun, iba yung nakikita mo, saka iba yung face-to-face na interviews with the judges. I mean,
Mhm.
kasi like the girls, meron talagang pag pag na makeupan iba na itsura or meron naman pag walang makeup mas maganda. So, depende rin yun kung saan ka swerte.
Baka
Now I
depende rin
can
yun sa
see.
makeup artist.
Isa pa yun, kung magaling
Yeah.
yung nagme-makeup sa'yo.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so we have a reaction from
Yeah.
Rowena Milia Ranman. Thanks for watching us, Wing. Like your guest tonight, from quiet serious topic on education to fun
Mhm.
pageantry. That's what we wanted it to be.
That's
Thank
actually
you,
the
thank
plan,
you,
yes.
Wing. Yeah.
I can now see the Facebook page we have. So we have
Oh,
a
okay.
comment from our friend Marilyn Clemente. She says,
Okay.
"Thanks for sharing the history of Philippine pageants. This is so interesting." Thank you, Marilyn, for tuning in.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Marilyn.
being.
Mhm. And then Melissa says everyone's warm. Yes, because we're wearing our hat,
I
right?
love this hat. Thank you, Anne. Beth. I'm borrowing this from Anne.
And who else do we have here? Yeah, so my husband is also watching kasi nandyan lang siya sa, sa tabi ko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so random, ano pa daw? Random question.
mhm,
Yun na pala yun. You already asked that, the pageant without makeup.
okay. Now I will ask Felix about sino ba ang pinaka for you, the one
Ah,
that you really found so intelligent
Yeah, the one you really admire.
among like the Filipina
among the
queens,
Filipina beauty queens?
Yes.
Catriona, definitely. I mean, I interviewed her after winning,
Mm-hmm.
and ah, yun na yun.
Definitely Catriona. Ikaw na yung headline. That's the
100%.
angle of my story now.
So, who is our future beauty queen? Or who is going to the Miss Universe 2020?
It's Rabia
Mm-hmm.
Mateo. She's from Iloilo, and she's another inspiring
Mm-hmm.
lady because she came from a poor family.
Mm-hmm.
She was she like really worked hard for the title, and
Do you have a photo of her?
No,
I
I don't
I
have.
have a picture with her, but
Mm-hmm.
it's somewhere there.
Yeah, it's
No,
somewhere there.
not
Okay.
that one. So
Oh,
Ang
no,
dami mo
it's my
kasing pictures with the
it's
beauty
my
queens.
profile pic actually with
Mm.
Rabia.
oh.
So there was like a story na parang when she was like reviewing or something, parang
Mm-hmm.
nakidorm siya, and then natutulog lang siya sa lapag, tapos binigyan siya ng banig or something. Parang nakakaano. Tas during Miss Universe Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
they were like asked to like send pictures of the outfit of the day, and she had like a not so high tech phone. So what she would do is like ask some of the girls to take a picture of her and then post it. So
Oh,
parang kahit ganun ang situation, she studied hard, and she's now Miss Universe Philippines, and she's gonna represent us,
mm-hmm.
which is really really very inspiring para sa mga mahihirap na tao dahil yung pageant ngayon, it shows us na anybody can win as long as you work hard for it.
It's not like before na para sa privileged women lang.
Yeah,
Something
di
like
ba
that.
natatandaan mo like nung pre-war and up to like probably the 70s or 80s, talagang people from the Buena Familia
Mm-mm.
who would join. But now at least everybody, I mean, we had a kasambahay who joined. We had a conductor. Is that how you, yeah, conductor sa bus who joined.
Sino yun?
Somebody tried back in the 80s, I
I
remember.
see.
And
So
then
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, kumbaga free for all na.
Amazing. So, do you think that the Miss Universe culture sa Pilipinas has evolved? Is it like in the midst of this human rights, women's rights question, ginagamit ang kababaihan to be, to be objectified, to just be an
Mhm.
object of, sexual interest and material endorsements? Ano naman ang masasabi mo diyan? Has it evolved? Did it become better?
Yeah, the pageant has definitely evolved now
Mhm.
because meron na sila mga advocacies. I mean, like Miss Universe focuses on AIDS, Miss World on charities, stuff like that. So lahat sila, they're given a platform wherein they can, promote their advocacies, which is good. So
Right,
hindi na
right.
lang 'to basta ipakita natin na maganda tayo, na fit tayo, alam mo 'yun?
Mm.
Kumbaga it shows na yung other side, we care. I mean, beauty queens care.
Awesome, right?
Yep.
Advocate ka talaga.
And syempre, of course, parang, hello,
Yes,
hindi
yes.
wala naman akong choice kundi i-defend you.
Do you have a question, Grace?
I am just amazed kay Felix, no?
Oo.
Alam niya lahat ng ang history from
My God.
1908.
And Felix, I want to show you this and tell us the story of this.
What was
How
that?
did you
Oh
get
my
this?
God.
She's so
Oh,
beautiful, Gloria Diaz.
yeah, she really looks
How
like,
did
Oh,
you get this
yeah, the
autograph?
daughter
Tell
looks
us a
like
story
her.
about that.
Mm-mm.
no, she was a judge in ABS-CBN talent show back then, and I had like my books and stuff with me, so
Mhm.
we went there and had her sign it. So she
Oh,
was like, "Okay, I'll sign everything." So lahat ng pictures talaga pinapirmahan ko.
talaga.
And
Hindi
she
ba siya
was so,
napagod? Hindi siya nagreklamo?
hindi, she was so nice. Like, "Oh, you don't have this. Thank you for keeping it."
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
So nakakatuwa.
cool. Oh, eto
That's
naman.
nice.
Eto naman.
What's that one? I
Uh,
couldn't
this
see,
is
sorry.
this is March 2000. Dear Felix, what shall
Oh,
I say now? Anyhow, I enjoyed this in my time then. Love, Nelia. This should
yeah,
be Nelia San.
that's
Nelia.
Nelia Sancho.
Wow.
Nelia Sancho.
The
Yeah,
beauty queen
Oh,
the
turned
beauty queen
what was her
activist.
title? Oh, the
Uh,
activist beauty queen.
she was a
Okay.
runner-up of Gloria Diaz, and then she became Queen of the Pacific in 1971.
Oh, okay.
So we interviewed her during that time. And then it's funny nga, because like when she signed that, a few months later, I was like on my flight to London to work. And
Mm-hmm.
then nagkasakay kami sa eroplano. She was going to Dubai naman.
Mm.
Eh, yung
Oh,
flight to Dubai to London. So, alam mo yun, parang wow. Parang naglalakad ako papasok ng airport. And then, Miss Nelia, so nice to see you here. Nakakatuwa.
so chika kayo all throughout the flight?
No, hindi naman kami magkatabi. But alam mo yun, parang I was leaving the Philippines na parang iiwanan ko yung pagko-cover ko ng mga beauty pageants just to work abroad. And
Mm.
then, eto yung beauty queen, kasabay ko sa plane.
Oh,
So,
nice.
ganun pa din. I mean, I'm really lucky sa mga chance encounters. Like
Mm-hmm.
one time nasa Times Square ako,
Uh-huh.
there were two former Miss Venezuelas na nandun din. Nag-shooting
Wow.
sila. So nakilala ko nung isa. So yun, kakatuwa.
Wow. You remember their faces, huh?
Oo naman.
My God.
Okay, ako
Walang
random
limited.
question ko. Iti-test natin si Felix, ha?
Oh,
Random
sige,
question.
sige.
Okay.
No!
Who was the Miss International in 1981?
Ano ba naman yan? Jonathan Derek, USA?
Oh my God. Miss
Walang
International in
kakorap alam
1981.
niya, no? Miss International
Tama
1981.
na. Huwag niyo akong tanungin.
Miss Universe 1951.
Wala pa.
Yun na nga.
1952. Ay,
O, 19.
teka,
Oo.
I'm supposed to like give out a question for our viewers?
Yes,
Yeah.
later. We will have a raffle later.
Ay,
Right,
basta
right.
ang
Okay.
sagot doon, Gloria.
Ala,
Bakit mo
Gloria
na
Macapagal.
binigay?
wala pa nga
Gloria
Bakit
tanong.
mo na
Macapagal.
binigay?
Gloria Romero. Gloria Padilla.
Stay ka lang
Okay.
dyan.
Stay ka lang.
dyan. And
Okay,
then,
so
are we
yes,
going
Maribel.
to ask question already?
What are the raffle items do we have
Oh, okay,
this
okay.
week?
Let me put that there. That they will call us.
Ah,
And our up for grabs will be first.
okay.
Would like to thank
What's the okay?
our let me look for the
Oh,
picture.
let me just get the phone.
Okay. So thank you, Felix, for your wonderful information and historical account of Miss Universe. It's really, really
Wait.
good that we know all these things, right?
Oo nga.
So we will ask our audience to call us because up for grabs will be this. Speaking of beauty, we have aloe bio cellulose mask, and this is
Okay.
from Forever Living, and this is courtesy of Miss Nieva Quezon Bordic. Tita Nieva would like to thank you
Oh,
for
she's the entrepreneur for Forever Living. Mm-hmm.
yes, she's an entrepreneur for Forever Living, and each time she has some purchases, it goes to the education of Philippine children.
Oh, that's nice.
Philippines.
Thank
So
you, Miss
very nice.
Nieva
So
Burdick.
what is our
Mhm.
question, Felix? Do you have a
Who's
question
going to
already?
ask the question?
Si Felix muna. I have to look for our
Hmm?
teacher. So I was
Okay.
Are they still with
Our
us
class is
or
very easy.
yes,
okay,
number
what's your
one is on the
question?
screen.
What is the name of the first Filipina Miss Universe? Oh,
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 what
ang
is the
hirap
name?
naman.
Gloria Sevilla.
What is the
It's
name
not
of the
Gloria
first Miss
Romero.
Universe?
The
Okay, you
first,
may call
you may call
the number on the
917.
screen.
Yeah, call 917-858-2356. And you will
Okay.
win a self-care beauty kit, a
Mm-hmm.
mask that's environmentally
That's
perfect,
organic, right?
organic for your skin
Mm-hmm.
too. So
Okay. Sige,
we're
let's while
waiting.
we're waiting for our
I
caller.
will crown you.
Oh, you have a crown. You will have a
Okay,
crown.
hold on. We have a caller. Hold on.
Okay, awesome.
Hello?
Ano na ba ako?
Hi.
May I have your name?
I'm calling who is
Yes, who is the
Ronie
winner?
Diaz in 1969.
Okay, can you please
All right.
say your name? Hello?
I just want
Who is calling, please? Yes, you just answered the right. Oh, you just gave us the right answer.
is that the right one?
Yes, it's Gloria Diaz.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. May I have your name, please? Hello?
It's gonna be me, Melissa.
Melissa Alviar.
Yay, Melissa.
Okay. You just won a
Congratulations.
complete set of Forever Living products from Miss Nieva Burdick. Thank you. Yes, yes, I know, Melissa. Thank you. Okay, I'll call you back for your address.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Talk to you later.
And thank you so much. And we have Ronie for
Merry Christmas.
Ron, do you have a question? Are
Thank
you going to
you.
ask a question for the next prize?
I actually didn't have prepare a question here.
No, pala.
Has. I asked, yeah.
What is the price, Marivir? Oh, the
Okay.
mask, is it?
It's a mask that has a signature mask
Okay, how many
from
pieces are we giving away?
courtesy of Pinas USA.
Mm-hmm.
Pinas USA is the editor is a member of the FilAm Press Club. So we'd like to thank
Okay.
Moriel Iturralde for that.
Oh,
So these
ang
are quite
salamat,
useful.
Miguel.
And these are very comfortable because I have one and it's very good. And so let's see.
Maybe
Oh,
maybe the first one to
hold
call
on.
them. Like what is the like online platform that this are using right now?
What is it? Are you asking the question, Ron?
Yeah, maybe like whoever the first caller, just
What
give
is your question again?
the online platform that their children are using.
The online platform that children are using.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. Okay. So good luck. So please call us at 917-858-2356 for your answer.
There's a lot.
Thank you so much, Ron. Okay. So where is this now?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay, so Felix, anything else that you would like to add or promote?
Well, just keep on supporting our Filipino queens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
So
mean,
let's.
there are like no coverages this time, so but we'll see.
So
Nothing
the
for
Miss Universe will be sometime in February or March.
February or March. Yeah, because
Okay.
Miss Earth did a virtual pageant
Mm-hmm.
last November. So
Okay.
I thought many people were like thinking Miss Universe won't, do a virtual thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
So
see.
Okay. So no one's calling yet. So
yeah, what's the
we'll
question
give it
again?
another minute. We'll give it
Ang
another
hirap
minute.
ng tanong kasi.
Ang hirap ng tanong ng teacher.
Mahirap ba yung tanong?
Hey, look at the hairdo of...
Sobra parang mathematical equation, sumakit ang ulo ko. And they were like talking about math, and
Please repeat your
I hate,
question, Ron.
sorry, but I hate math.
Oo nga. So, si Teacher Ramilo, yan ba yung uso ngayon sa mga students mo? That's
Yan.
Kaya humaba na
Yan in
new hairstyle.
Yeah. So what's your
Parang
question
ano?
again, Ron?
Like just give an online platform that we are using. So like for
Mhm.
school,
Online platform that
platform,
teachers
yeah.
are using for
Yeah,
their
yeah.
online class.
And for the online class.
Oh, that's easy.
Just an
Just
Okay.
name one, di ba? Marami siya. Just name
Yeah,
one.
marami. Just
Oo.
name one. First
Isa
caller.
lang.
Oo,
Yung
mga-
pinaka-popular
mga-
ngayon.
Mga nanay.
Yung
mga-
title ng kanta.
Oo.
Anong kanta yon? Anong kanta?
Hindi ko kaboses si Regine eh.
Anong kanta? Someone just dialed pero nawala. O, sige, we'll give it another minute because we're 30 minutes overtime already,
Yeah.
Revere.
Tell us
Mm.
Ramil and Ronnie, kung ano yung mga school events. When will classes end for the winter break? When is the winter break?
It's gonna end on Wednesday.
Wednesday pa.
This coming Wednesday.
It's coming Wednesday and we're
Oh,
back.
Christmas break na siya.
Fourth,
Christmas break.
yeah.
Oo.
Fall na kayo babalik?
No, 4th January 4th ang balik.
January.
Sana.
Ang sarap naman ng bakasyon, ano? Kung fall pa sila babalik. So,
Oo.
after New Year.
January 4th, that's
Oo.
so
Okay,
close.
someone is calling. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay.
Hello, issues and inspiration. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello?
Yes. What is your answer po?
Classroom?
Classroom? No, I don't think that's the right answer.
What kind of classroom?
Yeah. Is it, mga teachers?
What kind of
Anong classroom?
May classroom ba na?
Dagdagan mo lang ng isang word pa
Oo.
muna. Pwede na.
Isang word.
Okay. Hello. Yes, we have another caller. What is your answer?
I learn and writing
I learn NYC.
or food hub.
Is that a platform?
Ramil, bahala ka na. I'll just come back. Maribir, sorry.
Oh,
Learn
I learn NYC. Is that
time
the right
to
answer?
have another class. Thank
I
you,
learn.
Ron,
I
for your
don't use
comment.
that eh.
Is that acceptable? Tell. I learn NYC.
I learn NYC.
Okay. May
Yeah, pwede yan.
Okay, pwede daw po, sabi ni Teacher Ramil.
Pwede,
Okay.
pwede.
Parang hindi yan.
All right, may I have your name?
Okay.
May I have your name?
Pwede na po.
Who? Hello?
Gusto ko itong math.
Opo.
Gusto niya yung math.
I'm sorry, I cannot understand.
Neva.
Oh, Mirna.
Neva. Neva.
Oh, Nieva. Oh,
Yung math. Gusto ko yung premium.
oh, okay. So, what is your number? Oh, okay. Miss Verdict. Okay. Miss Nieva, okay, you just won for yourself a signature mask.
It's my home phone.
Oh, that's why. Okay. All right. So let me call you back for your prize. Thank you
Awesome.
again.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
Congratulations. Thanks for calling.
Yes.
Congrats.
Okay. Congratulations to all the winners and Merry Christmas. Again, thank you to our guests. It has been a wonderful discussion.
Yeah.
Maraming salamat. Oo.
Kailangan na mag-self-care.
Oo nga eh. Mag-self-care tayo. Pasko na.
So
So,
we'd like to thank
Thank
Ram for your time.
Mhm.
Very, very inspiring, very informative.
Of course, anytime.
And thank you to Ronnie. He just stepped out to make his opening remarks. He has an event.
Oh,
Please,
okay.
may
He has
event
an
siya.
event.
Medyo
Oo nga
Thank
pala,
you,
may
John.
event siya.
And of
Okay.
course, our beauty pageant
Our
consultant,
beauty pageant guru.
expert.
Maraming salamat. So, are you going to teach us do the right way?
How do
You
we
know,
win?
Ganito ba
you
yun?
know how to
Ganito
do
ba yun?
it.
Oh, okay. So,
Thank
we're
you
doing
so
it
much,
right.
everyone, for watching. You've been such an
Thank you.
Happy
amazing audience.
holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays. Be
holidays.
safe.
Thank you, Grace.
Have a good
And
one. No, Marivir, let's do the final ano pa.
let's do
Oh,
our
Merry
winner.
Christmas na, di ba?
Oo,
Merry
Merry Christmas
Christmas
na.
and
Next week.
Happy New
Oo.
Year. Safe
May
New Year.
episode pa kayo next week?
We will take a break next week.
Ah, okay.
We'll be
Yeah.
back in January 2.
We'll
Yeah.
have a live episode for the new
Yes.
year. But we will have our usual video clips.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
on behalf
Maraming
of
salamat again.
ourselves, Grace and myself, thank you so much for watching. And we truly enjoyed this evening. It's such a good break from our usual grind.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you, Grace.
exactly. Thank you so much. Good night, Maravir, Teacher Emil, and Felix. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Be
Christmas
safe,
and
everyone.
Safe
everyone.
one. Good night.
Good night and
Bye.
thank you so much. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.